Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to me. I haven't streamed in about a month. Um, I'm going to do a little bit different stream this time. My last ones were about the blockchain, about how to use various cryptocurrencies, how to buy them. I tried a couple videos on Ripple and they didn't work out so well, so I deleted them. But I've got a good plan for next time. The focus of this one is what color is your parachute. It's a book I haven't read, but somebody told me about it. Somebody told me about an exercise in it. And so I'm just going to wing it and give that exercise a try. So the first thing I'm going to do is just name this video, what color is your parachute? Blockchain. Okay, because I'm looking for some new work in the blockchain industry, and this morning I was out for a walk, and I'll share my screen here. This morning I was out for a walk, and I basically was trying to daydream. I've been interviewing with some blockchain companies here in Seattle, and I've got a lot of recruiters to respond to. And I really want to know, what do I want to do? I have a tendency to speak to whatever the recruiter is looking for. I can get the job, but then when I get there, maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. So this What Color is Your Parachute book and idea is to find out what I like, not what they like. I listed out all these items. You can see I've got over 100 different items, and I'm just going to do some categorization. I've got a breakfast meeting with somebody in a half an hour, and so I'll try not to make this video so long. But a big portion of my interest is in teaching. So I'm just going to try some general categories of things. So this is a blockchain category. And as I was thinking with these, they kind of came in bundles. So I'm just labeling these various items. Make sure you guys can still see what's going on here. Maybe I'll move my picture over to the right. There we go. So let me just, these are all blockchains. Okay, so this is about teaching, which is a big theme in my mind. Part of what I'm doing right now. Should do some spelling as well. And I also do data engineering. Data engineering is something that I've done for the last 10 plus years. I don't like to admit it, but it's been 20 plus years. So I've got a lot of data engineering. And I feel like it's easiest for me to get a job in data engineering since that's something I've done. But teaching in blockchain is more in line with where I'm going or where I'd like to go. So I'm just going to categorize these things and sort them out. Hopefully you can read this. I made the screen larger. So that would be data engineering. This is more, I'll just call it data engineering for now. And now we're back to blockchain. This is more, I'm just going to call this teaching, although it's customer service. It kind of stimulates the teaching interest in me. Also documenting is kind of the teaching category. Selling could be teaching. This I'm just going to make a new one called work style. So basically you can see I I was out walking the neighborhood, and on my phone I randomly put down anything that I could remember about past jobs or dreams about future jobs, and I just wrote down whatever came to mind in whatever order it was. And this exercise is basically to kind of bubble up to the top the things that I'm most interested in. So this one's also work style, and these are work styles. Okay, back to data engineering. Blockchain. This could be teaching, and there's a lot of overlap here, of course. This would be teaching, I would say. This is a different category for me. This is more like financial planning. Could be teaching, I guess, but we'll see how that comes out. This one would be blockchain, I guess, and this would be maybe teaching. This one would be blockchain. Whoops. And this would be teaching, I think. This is kind of a fun one. I'm interested in a lot of these coins that are worthless. So I'll just call that teaching. The government, you know, is on to a lot of these. It's a new technology. People are misusing it. They're inventing things that have no value, and then they're selling it to people. And it's just kind of clogging up the industry. It's like if somebody invents a mailbox so that people can send mail back and forth, and that's an amazing invention. But then people sneak in there a bunch of spam mail and a bunch of garbage mail, and it basically makes the whole experience of using a mailbox a bad one, because every time you look in there, there's all this crap in there. So the government's trying to help out with that. I've taken some interest in that, so I'd like to teach other people about these these coins that are just clogging up the industry, I guess. Of course, if you're making those, you know, if you're the marketing companies that are interested in making money from nothing, then you don't really label that as spam. You know, you label that as profitable, good business. And so, you know, not everybody calls it that, and I guess I could, if I were interested, I could teach people how to scam or how to market, but that's not my interest. Okay, so work on non-public blockchain, so that's definitely blockchain work. So I'm going to try to get through this. I'm only at number 66. Teaching, and this is teaching. Let's see, teaching, user-facing apps, wallets, I'd call that blockchain. I don't know, I'm going to call this teaching. This one is more, I'll just call it blockchain. So I know that maybe some of the people watching this video, their interest is not the blockchain, it's not data engineering, it's not teaching. So if you're just interested in the what color is my parachute part, you could fill this up with painting or baseball playing or whatever it is that you want. So I'll try to get through this before we run out of time. Indexing wallets, so let's call that teaching, teaching, and teaching. Teaching. Okay, this is more the work style. So you can see that I put lots of different options, because in the end of this exercise I want to list what I like, what I don't like, where I want to go. All this stuff isn't stuff that I like. Most of it is, but I'm trying to find out what I like. Let's see, more teaching stuff. More scam stuff. That is all. I see the word train there, so that's okay. We're getting to the bottom here, I think. I'm going to call this work style. Work style. Teaching. This is work style. This is data engineering. So the funny part is, you know, if you do your list of what you like, you can end up working yourself out of a job. You can end up listing out your hobby and not your profession. And you know, if I'm not careful, I won't have a job because I'm not producing any value for the company that I'm trying to work with. So I have to bring myself back. I can't just have all these fun items, and I want to put some, not that these aren't fun, but some items that bring value to the company, and you know, make myself valuable so that I can, you know, it's a good deal for them and me. Okay, so let's see. I think we are done here with this portion of it. Data catalog, designing. This is more like a work style, and work style, and work style, and I'll call this teaching. All right, so we just sort, basically sort these columns. I don't really need this top there. I'll just leave that at the bottom. And now I can look at these categories. So I've got all these blockchain things. This I'm just going to put to the top. Let me bold that, and I can make that stick on the top. Freeze the top row. There we go. So I've got all these blockchain items. I've got all these data engineering, and I've got a lot of teaching and a lot of work style. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am most interested in working for a company that's a blockchain company, or a company that has a blockchain or wants a blockchain. I've been crazy about the blockchain for the last year. Personally using it and investing in it and studying it. I think it's an amazing new computer that's coming together, and I feel like I'm back in my youth when I had a computer at 11 years old. My dad bought me a computer that had 4K of memory. There was no internet, there was no hard drive, there was no floppy drive. The thing didn't do much of anything, and I feel like that's where the blockchain is today. It's this useless idea that is going to form into something incredible, and I want to be a part of the growth of this industry. So let me just take these items right here, and we'll probably run out of time before I even get through these items. But we're just going to take the one section here and basically sort it. So I'm going to add a column here, insert, and I'm just going to write down, like how much I like things. What color is your parachute has an exercise where you compare this item to this item, then this item to this item, and you methodically compare. If we've got 23 items, it would be 23 times 23 comparisons. You'd probably fall asleep before you got to the end of the exercise. You'll have to read the book. I don't want to do that, and I definitely don't want to do that on this live stream. So I'm going to cheat and just come up with the things I like and dislike from this list. And then maybe when I get a list of about 6 at the top, then I can do the exercise that I learned about in the book. You can just Google the exercise. It's called Priority. I printed out, it's like a prioritized list from the book. Anyway, okay, so would I like to research new blockchains? I'm going to give that a 5 because most new blockchains are crap, I think. Would I like to work deeply with one blockchain? I think that might be a little boring to just, I can't even spell blockchain. Might be a little boring for me. Would I like to test out new blockchains? Heck yeah, I think that'd be a blast. Would I like to vet them out? If somebody has already picked some new blockchains and they want me to look through them and see if I spot any flaws in the logic, or whether they're not, whether they may be scam coins. Yeah, that sounds fun. Do I want to secure the blockchain? Securing a blockchain sounds like a lot of highly technical work, a lot of heads down, independent work. Probably I'm just going to call it a 4. There's different aspects of securing it. There's securing the network around it. There's securing it in the code, changing the code of it. That could be a lot of different things, but I'll just call it a 4. Do I want to document different blockchains? I think that would be pretty cool. I'll say number 7. Do I want to capture logs about one blockchain, about 2 to 3, about 100 plus? So the context that I have here is at an exchange. This is like basically if I worked for a company that had hundreds of blockchains, or maybe it's a bank or something like that, and I'm trying to, they're all working and chugging away in the background, and I'm capturing what's going in, what's going out. Blockchains themselves are a log, but this would mean it's kind of more into my data engineering. This is like if you've got Ethereum and you've got Bitcoin, they each log themselves on their own blockchain. But if I want to log them as a company, I'm going to have a third database that's not a blockchain. It's just a private database, and I want to get information about what my customers are doing on there or what I'm doing on there. So if I was just working on one, that might be okay. If I was working on 2 to 3, that could be kind of fun, maybe a 6. And if I'm working on hundreds of logs, that also could be pretty fun. If I am working on wallet security, so this is more like at an exchange. So exchanges have their own wallets, and maybe I want to secure that. So that sounds pretty interesting. I'll say that's a 7. How about an inventory of all their cold wallets? So it's kind of like you work at the bank and you get to work near the vault in the back and inventory all the bags of cash or the gold bars or something. That sounds pretty fun. Also, with an inventory, there's lots of different, many coins, many blockchains. And then, they could assign me a role just to do an inventory on one. So would that be as fun? If I was just the, Decred coin man on, it's coin number 40 or something on the market cap. Might still be interesting. I'll call that a 6. Okay, so hot wallet logic, limits, parameters. So this is also in an exchange. So this is like, they might keep 99% of their coins in cold wallets in offsite storage, but there's some of those coins that are floating around, ready for customers to buy and sell, to withdraw, to deposit, and there's a balancing act. If somebody deposits a lot of coins, you have to know how many of those to move to cold storage, how many of them to leave online. That would be pretty darn interesting. Let me call that a 7. Going to trade shows, I think that would be a blast. Hosting some meetups. I've done about a dozen meetups. I like it. I'd like to get better at it. Attending meetups. Yeah, if my job was to attend meetups and talk to people or something, maybe recruiting people. Actually, that's a good one. Let me just add that. Recruiting. So I think it'd be fun to go out and talk to people and bring them into the industry. So build or design DApps. That could be exciting. It's working with one coin. It's a lot of times it's a brand new coin. I'm more interested in maybe something established like DApps for Ethereum, or if EOS takes off. I'm going to call that a 8. That could be pretty fun. Testing them, using them, documenting DApps. That could be fun. Building a new blockchain community. So this is, taking an existing community, like maybe there's 1,000 people that are into fishing, and they have a big, a solid community where they meet up a few times a year and they talk about fishing, and somehow they want to work cryptocurrency into their, into their business, and evenly distribute voting power through a cryptocurrency. I think that'd be pretty cool. Working on a non-public blockchain, company to company, bank to bank. It's still blockchain. I like blockchain, but it's internal, retail sales, tokens, like if a Starbucks had a coffee coin that they owned, I don't know that I'd be so interested. I'm going to call that a 5. If I'm designing my own blockchain, coding it up, I'm going to call that a 4. Probably not interested in that. Using one, feature requests, using it, the command line interface, the API. I think that is pretty darn cool. I'm going to call that an 8. User-facing apps and wallets, that could be fun. Borderlining on the teaching. And this is like analyzing some blockchains, and I think that could be fun. Kind of goes in with the teaching. So in the end, we've got this, and I'm going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. But we're going to go here and say data sort. Did I have a header? I guess I didn't. Column B, largest to smallest. So these are my 8s and 9s. So if I just take this list right here and nothing more, and go into a nice clean sheet here, let me paste this properly. And I can try to show you a little bit about the what color is my parachute app. So there's this grid idea where, so let me give these a number. Actually, they've got numbers, number 1 through 12. I'm gonna just make it quicker because we're gonna either bore you or I'm gonna run out of time, be late for my breakfast. So for these 4 things, basically I'm gonna rate them all against each other. So I'll just say, you know, compare 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, no, not 1 to 5, and then I'll compare 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 2 to 4, and then 3 to 4. So I think these are the 6 possible combinations. And so if I had the opportunity to test new blockchains or vet out new blockchains, and I can describe this in more detail. So this would be like exchange considering new coin. Like, do they want to carry this new coin or not? Is it a scam coin? Is it going to make them money? Are their customers interested in it? Technically, is it secure? Is it safe? How will they integrate it? How long will it take them? How much money? Will they have to hire new people to integrate this coin? Will it last long term? So that's like vetting out a coin. That's what I would call that. And then this is like testing new blockchains. So it's more like limited to testing whether it works. These are very similar, and I would say between 1 and 2, vetting it out sounds more fun to me. So now between 1 and 3, testing the blockchain or inventorying the cold wallet database. I guess the opportunity of understanding how the cold wallets work. I think that would be pretty cool, and it just sounds like an opportunity. It's like a security thing. I'd probably need a background check, and I don't know. Sounds pretty cool, so I'm going to go with that. And then between 1 and 4, do I want to test them or do I want to go to blockchain trade shows? You know, why not have some fun? I think I'll try some trade shows. Okay, between 2 and 3, do I want to vet out new blockchains or do I want to do the cold database inventory? I think vetting them out is pretty damn slick, even more cool than the cold wallet. Do I want to vet them out or do I want to go to trade shows? Vetting them out sounds really exciting to me. Do I want to do the cold wallet inventory or do I want to go to trade shows? Let's see. These are all great choices. These like came out at the top. I would definitely say, you know, do some work. You know, you can always have fun at trade shows. So there we go. So I noticed that I've got 3 2s and 2 3s and a 4. So this one is my number 1. And then I've got 2 number 3s. Did I move that around? Let me just make sure I don't lose track of my numbers. This was 1 2 1 2 3 4. Okay, so this was the first one, and 3s, and then we've got 3 and 4. 2s, 3s. Yeah, just 1 3 and 1 4. So I'm looking up my numbers here. I think I need to, I think you get the idea. I'll just stop right there. So, yeah, I think vetting new blockchains would be super cool. I think working with cold wallets and the inventory, the database behind that, testing out blockchains would be pretty slick. Going to trade shows, and that's it. So I figured out what I like. Now, it may be that companies don't want to hire me for any of these things, but at least I know what I'm excited about. It's possible that if I were to mix these in and rate everything against everything, that you know, it would be one of these things down here that would be number one. You don't know. And then if I go back to my data engineering category, I could find out lots of things that I like about data engineering or teaching, and the type of work style I like. So that's about it. I'm gonna sign off, and hopefully this video took. Stop streaming. Thanks for watching. Bye.